especially to you, Mrs. Adore. Today I am going to tackle the five topics about the CA 200 institutional correction. So the first topic that I'm going to tackle is about antiquity to modernity, a timeline of criminal justice and criminology. So, our modern notions of crime and punishment are the result of millennia of human advancement. From antiquity to modern times, criminal justice and criminology have evolved due to significant contributions from a diverse array of civilizations. Here is a brief timeline of some of the most notable contributions. Summer in the late 3500 BC. Sumer is generally accepted as the first known urban civilization. The ancient land of Sumer is located in modern day Iraq or Iraq. Today, it is where it is located. And then, before Sumer, people lived in a small agriculture. When you talk about agricultural communities, it is where they grow plants, vegetables, they have these um, animals, chickens like that. And then once summer developed, city-states appeared. This led to the formation of primitive governments in order to control the crime that naturally derives from urban life. These governing bodies began to establish the origins of law and order. So, in the rise of Romans in the late 500 BC, the Roman Republic established itself as Western civilization, the first superpower. It is called superpower. Law and order was maintained by soldiers. So the soldiers before was, high. Those soldiers before has this very high power and authority to do those things. Law and order was maintained by soldiers who would walk the streets of cities, towns, and villages. The mere presence of the soldiers was a solid deterrent. Or as of today, we can say that it is the police visibility. Because of it, it helped keep crime under relative control. Because of the soldiers that was always roaming around the streets, the villages, towns like that, the criminals will be what we call this. They will get a little, sorry. The criminals will get a little bit bothered, or they have this something in their mind that to push on doing those bad things. Instead of doing those bad things, they will just cancel it. They will not going to go through their plans because the visibility of the soldiers, or as of today, the police or soldiers, is present in that area. And let's tackle about Plato, 428 to 347 BC. So, as a student of Socrates and teacher of Aristotle, introduced the concept that people are inherently good. These beliefs greatly influence the thoughts on crime and punishment as the centuries progressed. So, he is saying, or he already said, that the concept of people are inherently good. So, it means that if your family or the line or the bloodline of your family is bad, and then it will be the result. If the family of yours in the past is good families, they have this good attitudes, good deeds. So it will be the result also unto you. It will be the outcome to you. So you will be also like them. So it is what this theory is saying. Now let's go to Aristotle. Aristotle is in 384 to 327 BC. Expanding on the teachings of Plato, Aristotle's view relied heavily on scientific observations. So he is relying on those scientific observations. He is not saying that even if your family before or your bloodline are bad people, so it doesn't mean that you already are bad in that present moment. So he is always basing it to the scientific observations. As the tutor to Alexander the Great, Aristotle would impart upon him the significance of science and its impact in decision making. These teachings had a heavily influence on early forensic science and crime scene investigation. So like I said before, a while ago, just like I've said, that especially in the crime investigation, even if you will recognize the victim or the suspect, you will say, because the suspect has a bloodline of a family that are serial killers, that has a family of killers, bad guys. So I can say that he is really bad. But in this teaching, in this theory, Aristotle is saying that it needs to be done by the scientific observations, scientific what you call this, scientific observations, or I don't know how to say this in other words, but the point is it needs to apply science in these specific things in order to achieve the goal or the purpose, especially in investigation and in crime scenes, in forensic science like that. So let's go to the Frank Pledge in the late 1035. After the collapse of the Roman Empire, the Western world was highly disestablished. This led to families, small communities policing themselves. They made their own policies, laws and orders and regulations on their families, inside their families. And then, after hundreds of years of no centralized policing, the English concept of Frank Pledge was introduced. Under this concept, males over the age of 12 were formed into groups of 10. So, by that, their job was to capture and detain members of their own clan, as in their own clan, and or what do you call this, or own clan who committed crime. They were going to detain or capture. This was all done under the supervision of a constable who was appointed by the crown. So it means in here that all males at the age of 12 were formed into small groups of 10. So it is one clan. And after that, they are going to look for those things that, what we call this, the things that they are going, sorry. So in this specific thing, it says that the males over the age of 12 were formed into groups of 10. So it is one clan. One clan that has a lot of groups, and it's by 10. And then it is saying that when somebody in the other group with in the same clan that did prohibited things, that was against the law of their clan, those members of the other clan has the right to detain them. So in this kind of situation, they are always watching an eye to eye on the other clan or something like that. And then whenever someone will step on that wrong wrong area, or let's say the word, they will do things that against the law. So the other eyes of the other clan is always watching. I mean, the other eyes of the same clan in the other group was always watching on you. So you better watch out. Okay. So that was the intent of this, what you call this, of this concept. And then let's talk about the social contract in the late 1625 to 1762. This was introduced by John Locke. The theory of the social contract discusses the various roles of people and government in maintaining a balanced society. Essentially, the theory holds that people cede authority to the government in exchange for security and prosperity. So the government is saying in here, in this contract, the social contract, this theory, it is saying that the people must cede authority to the government. So the government is saying that give us the authority to do these things in exchange for security and prosperity, in order to for our country, for our establishment, for our nation to grow, to prosper, is you need to give us the, because we have already the authority, we have already the power. So what you need to do is you need to have this full support on us, so that we can give you the security and prosperity for our nation. It is that very simple about the social contract.